Hello, Fort Smith Public Schools. Just want to spend a little bit of time today discussing right-sizing with you. You may have heard we're looking at continuing the right-sizing process. I know you've probably heard of the right-sizing that happened with Trustee Elementary a couple of years ago, and also Orr Elementary last year, as we have closed those schools, rezoned those students, and utilized Orr Learning Academy for K-12 alternative learning. And we are currently looking at putting Trustee on the market in the near future. But you may say, right-sizing, what is it and why is it necessary? Right-sizing is a thorough and strategic process with a committee that's been working to optimize the use of our school facilities by aligning the capacities of those facilities with our current and projected student enrollment. Currently, our schools are not in line with our enrollment as far as the capacity and the use of those facilities. We have a lot of underutilized space in our district that we're heating, we're air conditioning, and it's just not physically responsible to ignore that. You also would probably say, well, okay, that gives me a little explanation. Well, what's the purpose? The purpose is something that's been defined as we looked at enrollment declines over time. This year we're down over 500 students from this time last year. We also have seen our population shift. For example, Sutton used to be well over 500. Currently it's in the 200 range of student population. That's one example. And also we have multiple school buildings that are just, again, they're just underutilized. So what would be the benefits of doing right-sizing or closing schools in the future? Some of the benefits is increased access to additional resources and collaboration, as well as efficient use of taxpayer dollars. And then savings that we can reinvest to support more students in the future as well. All this came about with a long-range facility committee. It consists of 13 community members, 6 administrative staff, 5 teachers and principals, 1 partnership consultant, 1 long-range consultant. But this has been a process over the last few years to really look at our district and see how we can be better stewards of taxpayer money and better serve our students and our staff. Also, you may wonder, what about human resource? What about our teachers, our counselors, our administrators, our office administrative assistants, nurses, social workers? What happens to them when we start closing buildings? We are committed to keeping our staff. We've invested a lot in our staff, and you all see the same things I do. When you walk into a classroom, you walk into a cafeteria, a facility, you see excellence. We have excellent people. We're not wanting to lose them. So we would rezone them accordingly as they follow the students. They'll follow the population of the students. We've had great success placing our teachers. We have had challenges with singletons that we've worked the system to help make sure we keep them in place around, some of the challenges would be around media specialists, and we have a system in line to try to keep them in place and also let them know that media specialist job, as it opens, will get them in place. Of course, administration and counselors, how do we place them? We're not wanting to lose them either, but we'll find solutions to keep them employed in the district in the future as well, if this is something the board approves. So what we have looked at is Spradling and Carnall as a result of the committee's recommendation, and we have taken the presentation to the board. And the board heard us in May and actually approved bringing the presentation we brought last night that gave some zoning options to rezone Carnall and zoning options to rezone Spradling. And so we took 3 options around Carnall and 3 options around Spradling to the board last night, and also made our recommendation of rezoning both campuses with 1 option, which happened to be option A for both campuses. Option A of rezoning Carnall would put Carnall, split them into Kavanaugh and Beard, and the zone would strictly be divided by Jenny Lind Avenue. Sutton has enough space that all of Spradling in our recommendation A would go directly into Sutton. And if you're sitting on the corner at Spradling, you can look down the road and see Sutton Elementary. They're that close. And that would allow us to repurpose Spradling and Carnall in the future if the board sees fit to approve what we have recommended. Now, we recommended this last night without asking for any action at all. We're asking for action in January. We want to give our board time to continue to hear from you, continue to hear from our constituents, and also have a very good amount of time to consider this change, because it is a big decision that they'll make. But they'll come back in January 26th, prepared to make a decision on the recommendation we have to close Carnall and Spradling at the end of this school year and repurpose those buildings in the future. So I just want to spend a little bit of time just giving you an update on right-sizing. Please know you can reach out and ask questions about right-sizing to curriculum instruction, our deputy superintendent, or myself. We want to make sure you got the information, you know it. And we've made it a point of topic as we do our listening tours with your colleagues to make sure they're free to ask questions and get more information on what that looks like in this district. Again, I appreciate the great work you do in Fort Smith Public Schools. We have a lot of talent, and it shows up in our students and the great things that we see them do because of you. So thank you all.